He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
And we are back. We're back with a favorite guest. Look, have you been on?
I think it was your first guest.
One of the first guests?
Yeah, because you were doing it originally. It was more of a rant style show.
Yeah, it was pure rant. Yeah.
Pure rant. Now you're like, I'll do rants in between questions. This is, I feel like that's what this is going to be.
We've tried to evolve. Scott Peckford, founder and CEO, BRX Mortgage. Like, you've had a fantastic success story. So much growth. Like, what is it, 4 years now?
4 years, yeah.
And so, like, you started from absolutely fuck all nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, tell us the story.
So started initially with the plan to just train rookie brokers and then hand them off to another brokerage. And that evolved after about a year and a bit. We realized they didn't want to leave. They were like, we like it here. That was one of the problems. And then I also had, because I coach mortgage brokers, been in the business a long time, not as long as you, 19 years for me, but I had people say, can I join your brokerage? And I thought, well, not our rookie brokerage. And so we had to kind of make some adjustments. But we've done $4 billion in 4 years and last month, $280 million in a month. And
Jesus.
And so for us, that's a good month for us. It's a record month, but we've been doing over 200 million, 250 a month on average. Lots of learning.
Well, hold on a second. You'll be close to $3 billion this year then.
Well, by the end of the year, we'll be at
for the year.
For the year, yeah. For the year, we'll probably be closer because the beginning of the year was slower. It's picked up. Yeah. So, but I would say like our fiscal goes from July to June. And we'll definitely be, unless some weird shit happens to the market, we'll be doing $3 billion for sure in that cycle.
So that's a big achievement. It's big.
It's a lot of learning. And
how many brokers?
Just under 400.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I said to you in my office, I got this flag that someone gave me, and it says, we do this not because it's easy, but because we thought it was easy, and we started. And
it's too late now.
It's too late now, man. Shit. I always underestimate how hard things are. So I go, how hard can it be? Turns out a lot harder than I thought. But I also am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the learning. I've got to become a better leader. I've got to become a better manager. Like, there's so many things that I've been.
Or just hire them.
Yeah, I have to. But even then, you got to be a better picker, right? Like, I got to be better hiring. So it's still not, as you know, you've probably had gone through a few staff over the years, and sometimes people fool you, and it's like, how do I get better at picking the right people, and then creating the right incentive structure around them so that they're motivated and doing the right things. And so it's fun, but it's not, but if I knew it was this hard, would I have started? I don't know. But now I'm also too dumb to quit. I'm like, well, now I'm in it.
Oh, you're too deep.
Yeah. And I do enjoy it. So then it's like, I enjoy 80% of it. So it's like, it's enough that and I don't know what else I'll be doing.
Oh man, but we gotta put that up as a new flag. Okay?
What's that?
Be a better picker.
Be a better picker.
It's got to be relatable. Everybody who's listening or watching, who's got a small business or growing a team or have a medium-sized business, because I know all the medium-sized businesses, the 50 to 200 employee businesses, are all just fucking nodding. Be a better picker. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people have big egos and think I've never made a mistake, but if you're just if you can just be truthful with yourself, be a better picker. That's a fucking-tastic slogan. I mean, that is great. Okay, be a better picker and how do you do it? Well, you develop systems, you develop instincts, and it's still hard. Yeah, you still get fooled. But
and then when you know you've made the wrong decision, then you need to unwind it as fast as possible, right?
Unwind as fast as possible. Feeling committed to something that's not working is a big thing. You're 100% right. Yeah, it's a big thing. So we'll just touch on what's the tough things about the mortgage business today. But let's first of all start about how do when you're growing that fast in the mortgage business, you run into problems of, you just alluded to, you're going to bring some people on who don't work out. So what have you learned about who your target agent or broker is? Like, what have you learned about that?
Well, initially, as I said, it was people that wanted to learn how to be a mortgage broker. Yeah. I would say our ideal broker is probably somebody doing 10 to 15 mil a year who wants to go to 25 to 30. When I was coaching brokers, that was my sweet spot. If you're doing 50 plus and you're scaling out a team, I have ideas on how to help that, but really the people that are optimum brokers are in that sort of, because
the audience isn't all brokers, how many like mortgages is that a year?
It depends on the market, but I would say like it's probably 30 to, depending on, it could be 25 to 50 mortgages a year.
So that's, for all the people who are listening who aren't outside the business, it's true. Like that's 2 transactions a month is okay. Yeah. Like that's, you're actually making money as a mortgage broker, right? I mean, that's reality. I know that sometimes startles people, but just remember, in the real estate business, 1 transaction every 2 months, and depending where you are, you're making money.
Yeah.
You're not making money in Cape Breton, but you're doing really fucking well in Toronto and Vancouver.
Or North Van.
Yeah, you're doing really, really well, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that there are differences in marketplaces, but it's interesting. It always shocks people that to be successful doesn't require a ton of transactions in the mortgage business. But
it sounds easy like most things, but it's much harder than you think. Like it's like, how hard can it be to do? And people go, I want to do 10 files a month. Okay, like sure, but that is not easy to do. And if you were to take a cross section of all the brokers, the number of brokers doing that is a small percentage of people that are.
It's tiny.
It's very tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And so,
So that's something that people not in the business should understand. Sometimes the person you're talking to, who's a mortgage agent or broker, is someone who actually does not do a lot of transactions. Mm-hmm. And I'm sort of biased because we do a ton of transactions here. Yeah. Is that I think you're better off talking to people who do a ton of transactions. I'm not to say that the people who are only doing 12 or 15 mortgages a year are incompetent people. They're not. Okay.
If they have good support.
If they have good support, it should be fine. But, you're not going to get cutting edge. Right. In situations like that. So what do you see? What's happening? What do you think is the biggest trend in the mortgage business today for right across Canada? And this applies to people who are borrowers too. What is the most, the key thing that we're seeing across Canada?
Are you meaning from the
mortgage world?
Are you talking about it from the mortgage broker's perspective or consumers?
Both.
I would say from the mortgage broker's perspective, it's the competitiveness of the lenders, like on renewals. So there was a lot of talk about a gold rush. I think it's a lot more complicated, more difficult to get those clients that have an existing lender, because unless there's a really good reason to change products and or strategy, they're going to get a better deal just by signing on the dotted line most of the time, not always, but a lot of times. And so I think brokers are struggling with, how do I grow my business when I'm losing these files? And then the other thing I think they're making the mistake on is they're emotionally and psychologically invested thinking they have a file when they don't. It was never their file to begin with, and so you need to understand when, it's like, I always describe it like poker. In poker, you can't win every hand, right? But how you play a hand you're not going to win can set you up to win other hands. And so I think that when it comes to doing these renewals, if there is no deal there for you, you're better off to just give the client the best possible quote, send them back to their institution and say, hey, let them match it or beat it. And then, hey, give me a review, tell your friends about me, and play the next hand and not invest a ton of time and energy into that transaction when it was never yours to begin with.
So this is really an important message for borrowers too, for everybody who has a mortgage. So let's break it down a little bit more. So we know there's an incredible amount of renewals happening. So that's it's publicized. Like every kind of media talks about it. Social, mainstream, you name it. There's always an article about, hey, there's a renewal tsunami happening. So just to quickly recap what it is, 2021 was the biggest. It was Mortgage Christmas. It was the biggest mortgage year in Canada that's ever happened, ever probably will happen again. It was just like off the charts. Why is easy. 1.59 5-year fixed.
Right. Yeah. Money was free.
It's crazy. So, and then that 5 years is coming up now, 2021 to 2026, but there was certainly action in the second half of 2020 as well. There was a bunch of mortgage action. And then the next interesting part was that in 2023, rates were very high, and a lot of people took 3-year on the basis that they believed they would come out of, in 3 years it would be better.
Yeah.
Some people even took 2 years, okay? 2-year fixed or 3-year fixed. So, but 3-year fixed in 2023 and 5-year fixed in 2021. And that whole thing's coming now.
Right now.
It's all coming now. So it's roughly 60% of all mortgages started renewing in the whole country, started renewing, maybe it's higher than that, 65, started renewing in now, sort of in the last few months, and will continue for another 18 months, a massive amount of renewals. And this has been really pushed on in the mortgage world. Everybody who's an active mortgage professional knows about it. But can you actually make any money off it? And that's what we're just talking about.
Yeah.
Can you make money off it? Because we discovered what happened is no big financial institution will let their customer go.
No.
Period.
It's their gold. If it is a gold rush, it's like, oh, it's in my vault, and you bet you're gonna have to come in with a mask and a gun if you want to get it.
It's my fucking gold. It might be a gold rush of mortgages, but it's my fucking gold. Yeah. I have put a fucking huge steel blanket over this
and
front
a couple
of the
dogs
line.
in front of it.
There's dogs and armed guards, and we're going to keep our gold.
Yeah,
okay?
100%. That's what's been happening.
So that's what I keep, and everything you said is true. So our approach consistently at our company is to say to people, okay, look, because we're a discount mortgage broker, we've been in the trenches of fighting on rate for 20 years. This has been our bread and butter, is to get you the best possible rate. And what we know is that a bank can still match our rate, no matter how much we try and strive and buy down and make the least possible money on a mortgage for our company to survive. We've got to make something. There's no point in doing mortgages for free. That's dumb. Yeah. Because there is a labor cost, obviously. So even we will have reached the point where we just tell the borrower, we've analyzed your situation. We've looked at your application. We know you can qualify for this rate, whatever the hell rate that is. You're interested in this rate. You can qualify for this number. Okay, good, says the customer. I say, now we stop. What do you mean stop? You're going to stop. You're going to take this. I'm going to send you an email that describes exactly what this is, proves that we're offering you this rate, and you're going to take it back to your bank before we do anything. Right. So you're not playing hands. And back to the poker analogy, you're like, hey, if this hand is not a winnable hand, I'm going to fold. I'm not going to put more chips in and make myself frustrated and lose labor costs and everything else. Well, I'll match the big blind. Okay. Yeah. So we'll spend that much time on this. Sure. Yeah. We'll work the files to the point where we say we absolutely are positive because we've studied we've got your income in here. We know it's doable. We know this rate's available. So now you're going to take it back to your bank, and if they match, it's just easier for you. And sometimes the clients are very nice about it. They say, yeah, but if you found me the mortgage, why wouldn't I give it to you then? And we always say the same thing. We thank them very much, but we also point out to them that it's going to take you between 6 and 12 seconds to execute with your existing bank. You're going to be, we're going to do an appraisal, even though we're going to give you the money back. We got to do this. We got to go steps. You got to go down to somebody's bank and sign up at the bank too, as well as sign up with us. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to take a line of credit. There's a million different conditions for you to get this super good rate. Yeah, which will take time and some energy from you, as opposed to 8 seconds signed, done, finished. So you need to go. On the other hand, if your bank will not match, we will do your deal. We will get you a mortgage at this lower rates. But that's what we're both talking about. But I think that too many brokers don't take that approach. Instead, they hope the client doesn't go back and doesn't ask. But then when they do, they go, "Oh, I don't like this game. I'm losing." Well, it's like, yeah, but you never won. You weren't going to win. They had a better hand than you, and the customer is not stupid. Like, don't assume your customer is not going to check. Yeah, a bad strategy is praying. Yeah. The customer pays no attention to anything. That's a bad strategy. You're basically betting on your customer not being sophisticated or being, I don't know, just don't give a shit. Naive, whatever. But everybody, because guess what? The bank's going to call them too. So it's going to happen that way.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know there's a bunch of inside baseball for the audience, but it is important because most of everybody who listens to us or watches us has a mortgage.
Yeah.
And
if you don't, why are you here?
Well, I'm so fucking entertaining, Scott. For the love of God, I'm very entertaining. Okay, but still. Yes. So this is in whether your renewal is now or next year or 18 months from now, you need to know this. I mean, this is important. This won't change. It's not going to change in the near future for the simple reason that no bank in Canada is prepared to see their mortgage portfolio shrink. No bank in Canada, because there's purchases are slow still. Slow as hell. Yeah, they're busy in Saskatchewan. Can I tell you something about Saskatchewan, Scott?
Please.
I get more comments from people in Saskatchewan saying, what are you talking about Saskatchewan? It's fucking booming here. What's wrong with you? You should be talking about that a lot. And by the way, I love Saskatchewan. I honestly do, because my mother was born in Saskatchewan. Her whole family's from Saskatchewan. I've been to Saskatchewan. You been to Saskatchewan?
Yeah, I have.
So you've been to both cities?
Yeah.
Okay, good for you. So have I. So here's two people who've been to Saskatchewan, don't live in Saskatchewan, have been to Saskatchewan. We like Saskatchewan, okay?
I know some great people from there.
Great people.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's some tremendous benefits to Saskatchewan. Like, it takes a day and a half to lose your dog because you can see him from the top of your house, wherever he's going, okay? Like, I'm not saying it's flat, but it's flat, okay? There are some hills in Saskatchewan, by the way. But look, and the other thing is, nicest people in the world, really nice. They have a lot of, I went to a bar in Regina. So I'm in the bar in Regina, and I go to the washroom, and I notice that the urinals have handles. Like, it's a long line of urinals, and they've got handles on them. So
what do you need
well, hold on. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So when I go out, I ask the waiter, I say, there's handles in the urinal. What's going on? And he said, well, sir, this is a bar, and in Saskatchewan, in Regina particularly, we're serious about drinking. And we don't want anybody falling into the urinal. So there's handles to keep you
so you can stand up.
Straight. Yeah. So you can,
that's
one hand on the handle, stay steady.
Yeah.
And the other hand, you're doing your business. So I thought,
well, you have two handles would be no good.
Two handles is pointless, but it's still, you don't know who's left-handed, who's right-handed. So you got to,
right.
You don't know which is the shaking hand, right? So you got to have both covered.
Right.
But yeah,
funny.
That's a true story. That's absolutely true.
So I was in a when I was in Florida man, just so I'm going to preface it with this. And I go in there, and there's a guy doing a FaceTime video with someone while he's standing at the urinal. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you can't just turn off the video.
Hold on a minute. Wait.
He's on FaceTime, and he's with his one hand. You can see the camera. The other hand is holding his business, and he's talking away the whole entire time, like no stop in his conversation. And I walk past. I'm in his video because I'm walking past, and I'm like, is this a Florida thing? Like, I don't understand this at all. I mean, I didn't know if he was armed because he probably was, but like, it was just a weird. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, for all the women in the audience, there's. I realize some of you have been in a men's washroom, but it's weird. Like, the urinal thing is weird, and it takes on all kinds of permutations. But yeah, I thought that you're right. You got me beat. Like, FaceTime
video, not even
during the process. Okay, you got me. Okay, so we're thinking about the mortgage business, and now purchase business is up a bit.
Yeah, again, it's very
you're
regional.
across Canada.
Yeah,
you see all kinds of things.
It is regional, of course. There's certain markets that are going to do better than others, but and Alberta was doing really well. It slowed down a little bit. It seems to me that.
So it has slowed down.
It seems like it slowed down for us a little. Yeah,
that's everybody, because we've noticed it too. Slowed down, and we're getting like sort of info out of Alberta, that particularly Calgary, that they may have sort of caught a mild case of the Toronto condo virus, because they built condos in Calgary, right? High-rise condos. And it looks like they're experiencing a tiny bit of the same sickness that afflicts condos in.
Are they dog crate condos, or are they a little bigger?
They're a little.
I've heard someone, you should get shirts made with that or something, Ron.
Oh no, we're thinking about merch. Yeah, we're
merch,
seriously thinking about merch. Yeah, we are thinking about merch. The dog crate merch. We have Angry Mortgage merch.
Yeah,
okay, we do. But we're thinking about like a dog in a window, but with bars around him. But it's hard to get the height.
Right.
But the dog crate condo, yeah, I've actually, it's interesting. Some people started using it. We try to promote the use of it in social media, dog crate. Some people still say shoebox. Some people say something else. But, because if you're on the national news, like if you're on the CBC, they don't want you to say dog crate.
Right.
But it creeps in to some places, it creeps in. So the bottom line is, there are sort of dog crate condos in Calgary, and they're a little bigger. There might not be the really crazy condos we have here, like 385 square feet.
A hotel room, basically.
There's bigger hotel rooms than that. I mean, like if you had a nice hotel in Vegas, it's about 400, right? So 385, you're expected to live there.
Yeah,
like that's really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're in Kelowna.
Yeah.
And you've sort of experienced, there's a lot of condos in Kelowna, right? Comparatively.
And there's still more that are being finished right now. And most of them seem to be purpose-built rentals right now. So we went through a phase of, so what happened with us is we had a lot of condos built. People got into the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And it's like anything. The initial surge was people were making money, and then everybody thought this is a good idea because that's how we're herd animals and we follow the herd. So everybody started buying these condos with the idea of Airbnb, but then your rental rates went down, your occupancy rates went down, and then they came out with a law recently. They eliminated 2,000 Airbnbs.
Yeah, the promise.
They just said done, and so they went from 2,400 to 400, I think, in our area.
Jesus.
Which now there's a lot of these condos that are like, okay, they're competing with the purpose-built rentals, or these people are trying to get rid of them, and then they have to either decide to drop the price, there's going to be more pain in that market for a while to come. I don't think that's coming. And I see more, again, these rentals that are popping up they're under construction. But it's because, again, they probably wouldn't have started them today if they'd known what they know. But they started them 2 years ago. By the time they did the design and the plan, the city takes forever. By the time you actually break ground, it takes so long. And then you're like, crap, it's not even the same market that you started in.
Yeah, that's a real similarity between British Columbia and Ontario. Is the incredible length of time it takes to get anything going, because the regulation is off the charts. Like
and all the money that you got to pay along the way that just adds to the cost of the construction. And you'd think that they could get more, given the amount of building that's happened, we could get more efficient, but they're not more efficient. They're less efficient and they're more costly. That's the really wild part about Canada today is that, regulation is really choking our society off, like over-regulation. What do you think about FinTRAC? I know we all have to do it. So FinTRAC, for people who are listening, is something that you may not know it, but you experience every day. Every day, if you do a transaction with a bank or any financial institution, there is a checking algorithm in place to see, is this transaction big enough to have to be reported to FinTRAC, which is the government's agency that looks at all the movement of money in Canada. Okay. Yeah. So we've now had FinTRAC in the mortgage business for a little over a year. Yeah.
I got my opinions on it, but do you see it as just another layer of administration?
I don't know how much it's going to actually help solve the problem they're trying to solve. I mean, especially in real estate transactions where there's a purchase, you already got a real estate agent and a lawyer involved, and now you're putting another layer in there. And I mean, we have it. Obviously, it's something we all have to abide by, but I don't know that I don't know if it politically it looks good. It's like, look what we did. We're stopping fraud. But I don't know that it actually, or we're trying to eliminate. If you really want to reduce fraud, how about give mortgage companies and lenders access to CRA tax documents, or at least so they can confirm, does this person actually make the money they say they make? Because there's tons of income fraud that happens. And why that would be a much better, in my opinion, solution for reducing fraud for shelter than FinTRAC, because we've already got multiple other layers. But again,
we've only been begging for it for 7 years, literally begging for the government to make this one simple move to drastically curtail mortgage document fraud in Canada. But so far, as usual, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, they promised it. We can go back. We're now on month 15. We're going into month 16 of when they swore in the budget that they were going to do it. There's a budget in April of 24 that they promised they would do it. And of course, fuck all, nothing.
Yeah.
That's what we got. So,
and there were companies that were sort of circumventing the rules because accountants and bookkeepers can have access to your tax documents for that purpose. For that specific purpose. But so they'd set up shop and say, hey, mortgage broker.
Preparing your taxes.
Yeah, preparing your taxes. But they've since squashed most of those because they're like, hey, this is not the intended use of this
Well, never was the intended use.
And so it's not surprising, but then give some way to access that it would also speed up the mortgage process.
Oh my God, yes.
I imagine the number of transactions you're doing or we're doing, and you could actually get some of this information by the click of a button. And even if it was just a pass or fail, if you don't want to give us full
green light, red light. That's it.
It's like, okay, good, you're good. And then the lender can move faster because there's also risk to the lender, which ultimately, if it's insured mortgages, is the government. At the end of the day, they're backstopping all of it. And so why wouldn't they want to get in front of it earlier by having some mechanism to stop income fraud?
Well, it's the most logical thing on earth, and they've had it in the United States for 15 years. 16, going on 16 now. Mm-hmm. So it works perfectly in the U.S. So the FinTRAC thing, I like to sort of kick the shit out of FinTRAC. Of course, you're right. We have to do it.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part. You and I are doing it in our brokerages.
Yeah.
And the lender is doing it at a much more advanced level. The bank...
it's their money.
It's their money.
Yeah.
And they see all the transfers, and they have to approve them, and they have to report the transfers. So but we've also started to we're driving people nuts too on down payment. So just last week, person, like just the most ordinary person in the world you could imagine, my recollection is they were a heavy duty mechanic, in British Columbia, heavy duty mechanic in British Columbia. Wife was a personal care worker. They're buying their first home. It's it's 5-6% down. It's like the traditional CMHC home, and it doesn't happen that much in British Columbia, but smaller town. Worked, I think it was. I can't remember if it's Kamloops or Revelstoke or one of those places, but but that's the most ordinary guy in the world. Like it's blitheringly obvious, even if you look into social media or anything else. He's a heavy duty mechanic. That's what he is. His wife definitely is a sport worker, and there's no questions about it. They are not smurfs for a drug cartel in Revelstoke. I mean, there might be one there, but it probably doesn't need him, and her. And they had been able to document the hell out of all their down payment. They put it in a bank, but it came from Wealthsimple, and we could get all the documents on Wealthsimple. But there was one $1,425 cash deposit. And that we couldn't explain. And he said, well, it's just a cash job. I did some curb work on a truck and fixed it. And the guy paid me. And this is why would have paid me cash when I put it in. And the bank said, well, we really need to find a way to back that up. It's really important. I know we're not sure. So in the end, I just said, tell the bank, Ron Butler said, we're not doing it, period. End of story. Okay. We're not doing $1,400 down payment review when there's $28,000 that we've documented the crap out of.
Yeah.
We're just not going to do it because at a certain point you have to accept the reality of the situation. That is not an associate of the drug dealers. Because no drug dealer would take that approach. Our plan is to do a high ratio mortgage on this house.
And $1,500 at a time. To launder, basically.
Right. Yeah, and only that. Like everything, we're just going to do that one. Okay, we're only going to launder that one. Okay, are you nuts? That's fucking nuts. Okay, but that's what government does. The approach of all government bureaucrats is only to honor process. And not purpose.
Right.
Because if you wanted to honor purpose, you'd spend all your time talking to the banks. How did this money come here from Iran? How did this money come here from the Jersey Isles? How did this money come here from Cyprus? How did $10 million come from Cyprus? Let's do a deep dive on that. Okay. Yeah. And that would have rewards. That makes sense. All right. $1,425 for down 10% for 6% down payment. You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. So, the other reason I know that FinTRAC is fuckery? Mm-hmm. Because you get these.
You should get insurance of FinTRAC is fuckery.
That'd be my new slogan.
That'd be your new slogan.
FinTRAC is fuckery in the mortgage business. And again, the lender, the banks are doing far bigger job than we are. They've been invested in it for 15 years and they've spent millions.
Again, it's their money. It makes sense.
Yeah,
they're not going to give you the money if they haven't done.
So we're just duplicating it. It's like when you go.
We're doing a poor job of duplicating it.
Yeah, we're doing terrible. It's terrible.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. But sure, with private lending, you can invest. You could FinTRAC the shit out of us for private lending. That makes sense. That's somebody given like $500,000 for a mortgage who's a private person. Yes, we should be checking the shit out of that. That makes a lot of sense. But if I'm doing a mortgage with the second and third biggest banks in Canada, I think they got it covered.
Yeah.
I think they know. But the fuckery of FinTRAC is, and you might just have this filtered out of your emails, but if you're a principal broker, you get a message from them every 2 weeks from FinTRAC about how they did a wonderful job helping the RCMP here, helping the Gaming Commission there. So you've seen those, haven't you?
I have a compliance.
You have a compliance.
I feel your pain, but I don't feel your pain. I understand your pain, but I don't feel it.
You don't see it. All right. So I see it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see it. Like I want to see the fuckery of FinTRAC. Okay.
Yeah.
So they will send an attaboy, like a pat on the back. They'll send a pat on the back.
Look what I did.
Okay. Look what we did. We assisted the Saskatchewan Gaming Commission in finding out about this thing. Okay. All right. Well, when you use the word assisted, it tells me you were not the one who discovered it.
Right.
Like somebody else discovered it. Like it was somebody in the RCMP or somebody in the local police discovered it.
And they reported it to you.
And then asked, well, hey, do you see these transactions? And you said, yes, I do, by strange coincidence. Look at yes, here they are. Here's the transactions. Good. Like you didn't find it, you FinTRAC fuckers, okay? You didn't find anything. But you're sending out these emails across Canada to thousands and tens of thousands of people under your control, explaining that you're really, really fucking good. Okay.
Right.
Scott, I don't know about you, but my experience is anybody who sends out a message discussing how fucking good they are actually not worth a shit in real life. Okay.
You know what it makes me think of? You remember the Simpsons, Ralph Wiggum?
Yeah.
I'm helping. There's this clip of him and he's not doing anything. He's on the bus. He's in the back of the bus sitting there going, I'm helping. And that's what it feels like to me. The
FinTRAC is Ralph from
Wiggum's,
the Simpsons.
I'm helping. It's like, no, you're not. We're not helping.
I'm just helping. I'm here helping. You're doing fuck all, Ralph. I mean, like, come off it. Yeah.
The bus is going off the road and they're sitting in the back seat.
Christ. So thank you, fuckers at FinTRAC. I mean, there's probably some nice people there. I shouldn't call everybody there a fucker, but certainly all the manager, like the top management.
Yeah.
Whoever dreamt up that idea that we're going to send out an email to everybody telling you how good FinTRAC is, you, sir, or you, ma'am, are a fucker. Simple as that.
Ralph.
Do not send out emails.
Ralph, stop sending us emails.
Stop sending these emails. Do not send out emails describing how good a job you're doing. That means you're a shit. You're not worth a shit. Okay. All right. So you run a mortgage brokerage. So you're close to this stuff. You're close to something that I've been thinking about more and more, and I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about in the next couple of months, is the strange unfairness of in most markets, like in a lot of markets. It's still okay against Saskatchewan. Thank you, Saskatchewan. We love you. It's doing great. They're doing fine. Great people. Great cost.
Yeah.
Price of homes is low enough. Like it's gone up, but it's gone up quite a bit, but it's still reasonable. Manitoba, reasonable. It's getting pretty expensive in Alberta. Prices are up. BC, crazy, batshit crazy high prices. Ontario, batshit crazy high prices. Quebec, prices edging up constantly. I think they're not quite batshit yet, but they're just not
what is under
reasonable.
batshit?
Batshit is
that's what I'm saying. You define what would you define?
Sure, I define batshit as a 60-year-old bungalow in a residential a subdivision for $1.6 million.
Yeah,
that's batshit. Okay, that is like there's no sense to that. Like it's not a mansion in downtown Toronto. It's not the most beautiful location in West Vancouver. It's not a glorious mansion on the lake in Penticton or Kelowna. It's none of those things. It's just a fucking average old house, in a old kind of subdivision
owned by a boomer.
Owned by a boomer, always owned by a boomer. Okay, and it's worth $1.8 million. And by the way, in 2021, it was 2.3. Yeah, but they still have that. You remember that when they had that old green fridge and stove? Yeah, from the 1970s and 80s. Like they have that in the house. Okay, like it's old, it's tired. Okay. What the fuck? $1.8 million? That's fucking stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's batshit crazy, my opinion. So we know this is the way in many provinces. And if you've got kids that are under 30,
I do.
Okay.
18, 16.
So you're looking at this thing.
Oh, I don't know. Without my help, I don't know how they get into the market.
Well,
like,
they
honestly.
don't.
They don't.
Right?
Like,
They don't.
I think that I was saying this to you. We had lunch, and I said, it feels like a game that we can't be won anymore. Like at one time, it was like, okay, go maybe get an education, get a job, save up some money. You could buy a place before you're 30, 28, 29, I think was the average age. I think it's 36 the last time I read.
It's in the 40s now.
Yeah,
It's like 41
so it's like
now.
you got, and the only way that happens is usually there's some kind of, so you're going to have a large mass of people that are, and all these purpose-built rentals, who are they for? You're going to have a large mass of people that are going to be living in rentals and a small number of people that own, and the middle, where's the middle class going to be? I feel like we're going to have the wealthy and then a large group of people that will be stuck as renters forever.
And that's the age of your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. That you look at those, and they could be lucky in terms of a feudal system lucky.
Yeah.
Like in other words, you've been in you're born at the right time.
Right time.
Where real estate was still rationally priced.
Yeah.
And you've done well.
My first house was $265,000 built, and it had a suite.
Oh, it had a rental suite. Right.
And I sold it for $315,000 and thought I made it like a bandit. This was in Victoria.
Yeah.
And now, and I thought nobody's going to pay more than that for that house. Well, what was I thinking, right?
It was like $1.8 million now, right?
Yeah. And so, but that had nothing to do with my skill. There was no skill involved. It was just luck, timing.
That was just
ovarian lottery, as we call it.
Ovarian lottery.
I was born at the right time.
Sometimes I call it the luck of the sperm draw, but that's more for people whose parents are really rich.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but
some of those people are screwed up too. Like having money doesn't equal not having problems.
That said, I'll try having money. Like,
yes.
I mean, I'm willing to try the rich thing.
I'd rather have that. Yes,
I'm okay if it turns out in the next life I'm a Demery grandchild or a Thompson grandchild. I'm okay. You know, if you believe in reincarnation, I'll risk it. Like I'll risk being screwed up by all that money. Okay, like I'll risk it. I'll try the money first. Okay. So anyway, but your point, that's a beautiful point. I bought this house, this amount of money. It was affordable to me. It was probably not even that hard. Like it was doable.
Yep.
And that house now, and not too many years. What's that? 22 years.
That was like 2021 or 2022. I built that. Something.
What, 2020?
No, sorry, 2001. 2001. Yeah.
2001. So in 24 years, that house in Victoria is probably worth $1.6 million.
It's probably 5 or 6 times the cost of what at least 6 times, probably 6 or 7
times. Yeah. 6 times. And that is definitely ovarian lottery. That's just the right time before the real estate became totally insane in Canada. So, to your point, this massive growth of purpose-built rentals, which is off the charts, really. If you study the CMHC program, it's a very good program, by the way. It's a great program to build rentals, but
it's like the problem with, I was telling you this earlier too, there's the problem with incentives. We create these incentives to solve a problem, but we end up creating other problems. And I think what we're going to end up having is we see so many of these purpose-built rentals. It'll probably drive the rental rates down, but how are people going to where's the properties that people can move into, right? And I remember reading a story about in India, they had a cobra problem. So they said, look, let's just pay people to bring us in dead cobras. This will solve the problem.
Kill the shit out of them.
Kill them all. And so then people realized, so I can just raise cobras at home.
There's a cobra farm.
And I can make more money. So then they created this incentive system and people were raising cobras to bring in cobras so that they could get money. Then they said, whoa, this program doesn't work anymore. Let's stop it.
You're growing cobras.
And then then they let them all go. So then they ended up with more cobras at the end because people are like, well, I don't want these cobras. There's no money in them. They just let them all go wild. And then they had more. And so often when the government comes in with these programs, these to try and manipulate the market, they create other problems that just are pushed down. They create a short-term solution that creates a long-term, bigger problem.
It's unintended consequences because nobody gave a shit about the consequence. They just did the program.
Yeah. And sometimes the program is just about optics, like the FinTRAC thing. It's just about, look at us, we're helping. It's like, no, you're not doing anything. Like that is not solving, like that's already been taken care of for years, like you said, on the lender side. Give us access to tax verification if you really wanted to help.
Yeah. And if you're really, really, really worried about money flows bad money flows, evil money, crooked money, study the shit out of the money from Cyprus and Kuwait and Qatar and the Channel Islands, and like there's more dirty money coming in from the Jersey Islands than there is anything that poor heavy duty mechanic is doing. That's for goddamn sure.
Kamloops.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this is the world we live in, and this is a challenge. And to me, when we look at these programs, because we've had the Housing Accelerator Fund.
Do you remember when we went to 40-year AMs and 5% down on rentals?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just pushing the market up. And what I felt funny about that time, so this was like 2008, and then all of a sudden the government's like, whoa, these are a problem. And then they took them away. And it was sort of like they raised the speed limit in the school zone. And then they're like, whoa, we're having accidents. Maybe we should get the speed limit back down. They put it back down again.
All true.
And then it's like they actually created another little bubble in there with these incentives.
Absolutely, they did.
By trying to, they're making it quote unquote affordable, but you just had the incentive program actually didn't work.
And let's face it, you could make a great case that the emergency COVID mortgage rates of 1.59 for a 5-year fixed were possibly did the greatest harm to a group of people that you could ever imagine. I mean, sure, they helped out a bunch of millionaires who said, wait a second, I don't have a mortgage, but I'm going to get a mortgage.
I'll borrow money at that rate.
I'll borrow money at that rate because I can do a lot with that. That benefits the rich. But for young people who really wanted to buy a home, who got excited about this 1.59 rate, and their parents got excited because, hey, this is a great opportunity because the rate's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And of course, they thought the rate would stay forever.
Yeah.
Let me help you buy the home. And all of a sudden, people were 30 bids on a house in Vancouver and Kelowna and all over Ontario. And prices went through the roof. And now all those properties are worth 20, 25, 30% less. I don't know about Kelowna, but they definitely are here.
They've gone down to, and it's also, again, market segment. There's certain properties that have done better than others and certain price points, but
the whole concept of the government promoting, our government, all levels, provincial, municipal, federal, promoting rentals, because that's what we got right now. That's what Build Canada Homes is. It's to build rentals and to build subsidized property for, people who are income challenged to live in. Okay. That's a form of rental. That's going to be a rental. They're not going to own it. And this huge CMHC Select program, which is great. I supported that program when it first came out 7 years ago. I said, this is a great idea. We need more rentals. And now, of course, we've got this uncontrollable amount of rentals coming on stream in the middle of a condo crisis, which is wild. And to your point, they're all too small.
Yeah.
They're all too small. They're they're dog crates. Okay.
Yeah.
Both some of the purpose-built rental is a mixture of dog crates and okay.
Yeah.
But the condo side,
it's a double dog crate.
It's like a kennel. Okay?
Yeah, it's a kennel.
But on the other
kennel
side,
condos.
Yeah, but on the other side, the condo side, it's just a dog crate. It's horrible. Yeah. Nobody wants it. It's awful. It's like you pointed out. It's meant for Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's a decent hotel room, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question that I have to start to ask is, even though we have a CMHC program, which is a great program, and it is, but the price of houses has become so, like the 5% down program, 10% down. It's a great program, but the price of houses has gotten so wild and incomes are stagnant.
Yeah.
So you still can't use the program because you can't get enough down payment together. You're coming off of student debt and you can't save that easily without your parents helping you. Okay.
Right.
So we're creating a feudal system where only people whose parents were landowners can the kids be landowners.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have a nation of renters, because that's what I think a lot of people under the age of 30 are going to be faced with.
Right.
And did the government ever ask us if we wanted to turn into a nation of renters?
No, I don't think so. I think that it's, and they don't frame it that way either.
Never.
Think about it. They don't say, hey, by the way, all of your kids are going to be renters and because there's going to be no affordable housing for them, and we're not solving the root issues that actually deal with this.
There's going to be affordable housing, but there's going to be nothing affordable to buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Affordable, not affordable to buy.
Because we're not promoting building homes to sell.
Yeah.
We're promoting building homes to rent. And to me, the real question is, why not just say it out loud? Because they never say it. They never say we're going to create more affordability for home buyers. They always couch their language in, it's going to be more affordable homes. We're going to build more so it will cost less. I heard that out of Carney the other day. I thought to myself, fuck, he thinks Poilievre's with the slogans. Like, what the fuck kind of a slogan is that?
Right.
We're going to build more so it will cost less.
Right.
Okay. Cost less to rent. I mean, you're not buying, there's nothing there to buy. You're not building anything to buy. Okay. So when are we falling into a trap that our politicians are trying to tell us one thing. By the way, I'm not just mad at the federal government. I think the provincial government is just as bad.
Yeah.
At all levels are bad. Municipal's bad. They keep, like you said, they keep increasing the development fees. They want more and more money.
Yeah.
And be slower and slower to develop a permit.
Right.
Okay. So that's obviously their game too.
Yeah.
So are we going to be, or sorry, young people, is Canada, second biggest landmass on earth, going to become a nation of renters, but nobody ever posed the question, do you want to be a nation of renters? Mm-hmm. This is starting to piss me off, something fierce.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen. I don't know how to correct it, and I think that the government is not trying to correct it. Their solutions are going to create back to the incentive problem of the COBRAs. Their solution is to create more rentals, which means that we're going to have more renters, but you also have a bit of a condo crisis, which are going to be a lot of rentals. And so, are these people that build these properties that are purpose-built rentals, are they even going to make money? Like, how many of those are going to struggle because they either A, can't get renters, or have to keep their rent price down because they're competing with the dog crate condo that somebody bought and wants to hold on to?
You're 100% right. Although I'm good with lower rents. I mean, lower rents is necessary.
No, that will help, but then you'll never get out of that. It'll be a cycle.
Because where is this affordable house to buy?
Yeah.
Where is that? And it doesn't exist. You and I, in our markets.
No.
British Columbia, Ontario.
Saskatchewan. Back. Yay. Let's go.
That's you know.
Let's go Rough Riders.
Or even Manitoba's pretty good if you want to live in Brandon. By the way, great place, Brandon. We love you. Okay.
I was born in Manitoba.
Yeah, there you go. That's great. Okay. But it's not everybody's going there. Okay. No. So in the end, the horrible truth is, and I'll be honest with you. I'm promoting my book. I'm in the mortgage business.
Yeah.
But I don't do any mortgages. I don't do any $300 million mortgages for these purpose-built rental guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am talking my book. I want the population of Canada to be able to own their home. Mm-hmm. Because I think there's something, even if we get out of all this investment bullshit, all this flipping bullshit, all this, I'm going to, turn into a rental, I'm going to buy the next one, get rid of all that bullshit. I just think it's a basic human good that if you bought a house, you paid it off in 20 or 25 years, because you could do accelerated payments.
Yeah.
You paid that mortgage off in 25 years, and you just stayed in the house. And like one of the things that does piss me off is this housing journey bullshit. I mean, can't you just get a good house to start with and just stay there?
Right.
Meet the neighbors.
Well, not if you're a 380 square foot condo.
Definitely
you meet someone and let's have a kid. Now, where do we put them? Hang them off the balcony?
I've always thought about in those tiny, tiny, tiny condos, like 380 square foot, does that literally push people into copulating standing up? Because it's there's not that much bed space.
I mean, you could certainly, it can be done.
It's possible, I know, but I mean, is that the whole way we're trying to move? But look, that's the ultimate problem. The ultimate problem is in a huge land mass with lots of land. I know people like to say, well, no, Ron, it's really a lot of northern land. Well, let's heat the places, okay? It's fine. A lot of us have lived in cold places, right?
Right.
We do. I lived in Edmonton for 2.5 years, for God's sakes. It's pretty cold. And I lived in Montreal. The snow's like 4 feet tall.
I lived in Goose Bay, Labrador.
There you go. Cold. Yeah. That's weather, man. That is weather. So I don't buy into that bullshit. I believe that ultimately people should be able to buy a home, pay off a mortgage in 20 years, 22, 25 years, and not have to worry about making a payment, and that would benefit their lives. It would benefit their lives in retirement.
Yeah.
And they could do whatever they want with the house and they would have the security of owning a house. Because one thing you and I both know about rentals is that sooner or later they make you move.
Yeah. Well, there's a psychological thing about being an owner versus a renter. Same property. You're going to have a different, you just show up different. It's kind of like the difference between renting a car and owning. Most people, if they're honest, they drive a rental car not as smooth as they do their own car.
Oh, that rental car at the airport?
Yeah. You buy your own car. If you went and spent your own money on it, you're going to be like, I'm going to take better care of it. If you get that rental, you beat the hell out of it.
The rental from the airport, you murder it.
Yeah. And so there's psychologically getting more people to be owners is actually a good thing. It's good for society. It's good for them. It's good. They're going to put down roots. They're going to have kids. Oh, my kids are going to go to this school. They're going to have friends. The whole rental thing, you end up getting bounced all over the place. It just creates a less cohesive, I think, foundation for society.
And you're 100% right. And yet our government is sort of tamping down the truth of all of their most recent programs, and even some of their successful programs, are all about rentals. And
who's going to own those? Boomers.
Well,
boomers are going to own all the big rentals and REITs.
Well, see, REITs, it's worse. It's worse. Yeah. It's REITs and pension plans.
But then whose money do they have?
It's boomers' money.
It's boomers' money.
So
it's always boomers. It goes back to the boomers.
It's always boomers. Boomers come out on top every time. It's true. And
they won the ovarian lottery big time.
Oh, nobody won it as good as us. And yet, when you talk to the most boomers and say to them, you had it lucky, they will argue the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Say, no, I was hard. We had 18% interest rates. Yeah, but the house cost $100,000. Okay?
Right.
Like...
Yeah. And it was a temporary thing.
Yeah, it came back down. So, listen, Scott, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it. I'm going to be at one of Scott's events. Actually, by the time you hear this, we'll already have been at the event. But I guess Scott's got a great event. He's hosting. He's running this across Canada. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so we're doing these broker talk events where we bring in brokers like yourself, and it's a combination of a TED Talk and a mastermind. So this is just for the industry people listening. Non-industry people don't care. And the idea is that we get somebody to share their best ideas in 20 minutes or less. And if you think about TED Talk, somebody can know about gorillas. They studied for 25 years, and they got 20 minutes to give you distill down their best ideas about gorillas. And it's interesting. If they wanted to talk for 3 hours about gorillas, most of us would want to jump off a building.
Yes.
And so the idea is we get these smart people to share their best stuff, and then we spend 20 minutes doing a discussion around table with some smart people, and then we share our insights. And it moves like a German train. It's on a stopwatch. We make sure it moves. I got ADD. I get bored. If I can't have somebody talk at me for 2 hours, and I don't need somebody to get up and motivate me. I just give me something tangible I can use in my business. And so I'm grateful you're coming. I appreciate you coming out. And I know you don't come out often, come out of your cave to, you're like, boomers are.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them all. Government, FinTRAC. But so I'm grateful that you're coming out to it. It'll be a lot of fun. And, and anybody who's not following you online, like I've known you for a long time, and you have just exploded on social, on these other platforms, and you're doing amazing things. So
I'm grateful that people like to listen to my foolishness. So
you're entertaining. And I always say, like, people think I'm going to give people a little insight into Ron, and you can edit this out if you like.
No, I edit nothing.
Okay, so if you think Ron says some crazy shit on his podcast, if you meet him in real life, he's actually most people have a character for social. Ron is actually the toned down. Your online presence is the toned down version of real life.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I will say shit in real life that's wilder by far.
By far. Like most of the time you meet people and their social persona is actually the character, and their real persona is the opposite. You actually have like a tempered version of you.
Yeah, like I'll say unbelievable shit in real life, like stuff that's just off the wall. But Scott, thank you. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for giving up your time. I know it's very valuable. So thanks a lot, and great having you.
Always fun.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.